Independent, locally owned New Orleans bookstore, Octavia Books, offers author events, book signings, and hand-picked titles for all ages. OctaviaBooks.com.
Criollo Restaurant offers a culinary adventure prepared by a tiny animated French chef. A 5-course dinner experience comes to life at each place setting using projection mapping. Located in the historic Hotel Monteleone. Learn more at criollonola.com.
This program is supported in part by a community arts grant made possible by the City of New Orleans as administered by Arts New Orleans.
Support for this program comes from the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, committed to funding educational causes.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From jazz to jambalaya, theater to galleries.
Steppin Out brings you the best of our local arts and culture scene each week.
Let's step up and step out. Together, keeping WYES strong.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin' Out with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hello.
Hello, Peg.
Making her Steppin' Out debut, Marielle Songy, and she is the author of the brand new book, Coffee Culture New Orleans. Congratulations from LSU Press.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and he's back. Tom Gregory, but he's back, and boy is he back, host and producer of a brand new 13-part monthly series on WYES. It's called Eco Trip, and it's focusing on coastal Louisiana, people and places. Great to see you. Hello.
Great to see you, Peggy.
Very nice to see you.
By saying he's back, you make it sound like a horror movie, though.
We'll think positively. And Alan Mason returns next week, Tom. You're funny. All right, Miss Poppy, something brand new. Huh?
Something so brand new that it opened officially just last night. It's a restaurant called Procida. I didn't know what that meant. Well, actually, Procida is a 17th century fishing village off the coast of Naples. And this place is just a little dream. It's on the corner of Burgundy and Taureau in the Marigny, right across from where the Ruby Slipper is. And it's a very seafood-centric menu. It is the best crudo I ever ate. The interior is fabulously done. And look at that crudo, bluefin, amberjack, and cobia. There was a ricotta bruschetta, like nothing I've had before, that had fig and pistachio pesto.
Fig. Oh.
And so, you know, it's laid out, the menu's laid out just like a traditional Italian menu, like you'd find with, you know, the soup course, the antipasti, the pastas. Look at the gnocchi. It was lovely. There's a smoked fish carpaccio, the secondi, the pasta dishes, lovely. And look at that incredible flounder Siciliana. It was really special. There's eggplant broccolini. There's a grill hold brazzini, and there is that adorable chef. His name is Valeriano Ciella, and he is as Italian as they come, and his food is as authentic and delicious as you can possibly imagine. So I'd say quick make a reservation, because I think it's going to be full all the time. And the most comfortable bar seats I have ever sat in. I love this new place.
A lot. Yes.
Now, our friends at SoFab are really heating up this fall with lots of fun programming and events. this Saturday. So much going on there. Master bartender Chip Dennison is going to be doing a free demo, a free cocktail demo. So go to the museum, have a little cocktail, and then his last cocktail will be an absinthe cocktail, because following his demo is the Absenthia Vermouth book signing. That's the Green Fairies Canvas, is this new absinthe book. Then all this is going to be followed by a big party, a fundraiser with lots of eats called Taste the South. Where better to do that than at SoFab?
Yes.
It's hosted by a lot of our representatives. Leslie Harris, the council member, Senator Royce Duplessis will be there, Representative Alonzo Knox and Amy Freeman. You know, it's just such a wonderful place, and it really deserves.
God bless Liz Williams, huh?
Liz
and her
Williams,
staff.
and
Incredible
of
staff,
course
yeah.
then Connie Jackson, who's the president now, and you know, there'll be delicious things from Vaucresson sausage, and Dee Levine, who comes on this show, she'll be cooking. It's going to be a great event next Wednesday. I'd love to see everybody at SoFab.
All right, and your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is Rustic Canyon at Dolphy's. Chef Elijah Delon, or maybe it's Deleon, farmers market produce from the Santa Monica market. Rustic Canyon is just a super hot Los Angeles, Santa Monica restaurant. And when those adorable people at Dolphy's invite their friends in, the tickets go fast, fast, fast. So get online and get your reservations for that now, too.
Thank you so much. And now we're on to Book It. And this is a fairly regular part of WYES's Steppin' Out. All these books. And look at this. Coffee Culture New Orleans. Congratulations, Marielle.
Thank you very much.
She's got a big book signing coming up. We'll tell you about that. But let's talk about actually the book itself. The history of coffee in New Orleans, and you really also focus on sort of the newer history, the more recent past too. But let's start with the very beginning. I think most of us think, well, it's always been coffee and chicory, but not really, huh?
No. When coffee came to the city in the 18th century, it was just basic, the way the coffee is roasted, ground, enjoyed.
Beans.
And chicory, people think that the connection is the Civil War. They think, oh, during the Civil War, they mixed chicory into coffee to make it last longer. But the origin actually traces further back to Holland and even a bit in the Prussian Empire. And it was picked up by the French thanks to Napoleon and he limited shipping of certain things into France, and one of them was coffee. So they had to make it last. So they added chicory to the coffee. And of course, New Orleanians, having their loyals to France, they brought the tradition here with them when they emigrated. And that's how chicory became a thing in New Orleans.
And we have a few visuals from the book, including a coffee roaster. Tell me about that, the San Franciscan coffee roaster?
Yes, this massive coffee roaster. It was so fascinating to learn about all of these different roasters. And it's this massive coffee roaster that they can put pounds and pounds of green coffee beans in, and they roast for hours. And of course, the people who roast coffee are so professional at it, and they know what to smell, the smells and the sounds, and it just produces massive amounts of coffee. And it was just fascinating to learn all of those things.
Well, there's such a coffee history, and of course the Westfeld brothers, J. Aaron and Company. I mean, this is real legacy.
Absolutely. There's all these connections that come back to, even national coffee that comes back to New Orleans.
Yeah. I love when you talk about the coffee houses, but because, you know, usually there was more than coffee being served in those coffee houses in the 1800s.
Yes,
huh?
like people were known to have a little drink. And the interesting thing about coffee houses and coffee exchanges, it's where business was done.
Yeah. And what is the
over
difference
coffee.
between the coffee house and the exchange? Or is pretty much
Coffee
the
houses
same?
was a social place where people just had coffee, like a coffee shop. Coffee exchange is where sales happened. So, you know,
sales of items, all kinds of items.
Sales of
course.
items, business deals. It was the place where business people hung out and drank coffee and
Right.
did
Now
business.
we're showing Café du Monde stand, and that was the other thing. In the French market, there were many stands, weren't there? Of course, remember Morning Call, but I mean, many before that.
Oh, sure. There were all kinds of wares, very similar, of course, to the way the French market is now. There were all kinds of stands, food and products and produce and all kinds of things. But the coffee stands in the French market were prevalent, and that's where people went and got their coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, today, of course, I remember well when Phyllis Jordan started PJ's. That almost seems like
Absolutely.
the distant past with everything
Sure.
else going on. And good for her. I mean, it's a
Yes.
huge hit.
It started off as a neighborhood coffee shop, and it's expanded to over almost 200 locations.
Wow.
Outside of New Orleans. It's in all kinds of cities. And the roast master, Felton Jones, he has a hand in all of that, and he goes to coffee farms and meets these farmers, and yeah, it's a real hands-on thing.
Well, and I mean, of course, we have to always point out the port, having the port right there.
Of course.
You know, speaks volumes in terms of with the ability to import the coffee. I have this vague memory as a child, actually, near, and I know it was primarily on Poydras and the river, but this was a canal, and these warehouses were just totally open, and there were coffee beans in giant bags.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and this is pre-roasted, so you're not smelling the, you
Right,
know.
right, it's the
but
green
it was
coffee
visually,
beans.
it was sort of stunning. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But thinking about French truck, congregation, I mean,
We have so many
a lot of
amazing
new ones,
roasters,
huh?
and I was so excited to interview them for the book. I learned so much, and everybody has their own style and their own way of doing things, and it was just really, really interesting. And I was
and of course, this is part of that New Orleans food culture series that LSU's been doing.
yes,
huh?
for SoFab, their food and culture, their food and drink series.
Okay, well, very good. All right, so you've got a book signing on Friday.
Yes, indeed. It's at Garden District Bookshop at 6 p.m. I will be signing books, and come out. It's going to be a cocktail hour kind of thing at Bar Epilogue, which is the bar at Garden District. So if you get off work and you want to have a drink and get a book signed, come on down.
Okay.
It's going to be very casual.
Well, very good. Congratulations.
Thank you
though.
very
I
much.
learned a lot of stuff.
I appreciate that.
Okay, great. Yeah. Tom.
Yes, Peggy.
You've been working hard to quote actress Becky Allen. I love one of my famous sayings on this. I mean, it's going to ultimately be 13 parts. Oh my. Okay.
Once a month.
Once a month. Yeah, thank goodness.
Once a month.
Once a month. Okay. And you're kind of like the host, producer, and like everything else. But
Yes.
but pretty much you're going to be focusing on what the lower coast, Louisiana coast. And
Well, yeah, we're focusing on the Gulf Coast and how that coast shapes culinary, culture, music. So we're trying to talk about coastal issues in a way that actually ties to our culture and do it in a more emotional way than we might have covered coastal issues before.
Well, we have some just a few stills that will kind of preview some of your early episodes. First of all, and having seen it in an earlier clip, the Los Isleños Festival. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Well, that's heritage, and it talks about the Canary Islanders that came out.
That's a great program.
And once a year, there's the Fiesta down in St. Bernard, which is an incredible festival. I mean, it has everything that every festival has, except it has Canary Island traditional music. They fly in a troupe from one of the Canary Islands, and they perform, and it is amazing. It should be on your bucket list of festivals.
And you
to go there.
actually participate in the dance?
I wouldn't call it participate. I would call it stumble and fall and be dragged around by one of the Canary Island dancers. But at least I look good because they put me in full traditional attire.
Got in costume? Okay.
That's yes. It's kind of amusing. I'm not Fred Astaire. I'm just going to put it out there.
Okay, and then also when the boats, with the beautiful boats, they came down just because of America 250. You got to ride on
We
one
got
more
to
story.
join the Coast Guard on their Eagle, on the Coast Guard Eagle. It's the only tall ship in the U.S. military, and we joined them on their what was to be the triumphant arrival into New Orleans, but it poured. Which
that's right.
happens in Louisiana. But it was such an amazing ride to see. It's like a 250-foot boat with 250 Coast Guard people on it. Yeah,
That had to be a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And then you go down the river and you get to see in a way that we forget about the river a lot of times. I mean, I coach girls softball at the Fly, and people forget that river's right there. But it's there, and the commerce, from coffee history to the food that we eat, it's, you know, from the river. So to ride up that river on this historical boat and to see also all the commerce as it's dodging giant barges was quite impressive.
Yeah. Now, speaking of boats, there's another kind of boat, an airboat. You had some experience with that too.
We do take out a couple of airboats. We took out an airboat to go.
And that's the one with the fan. I'd like to describe the technical description of it, right?
We were at Breton Sound looking at some of the dredge projects out there, past Delacroix, and depending on how you want to say it.
Yes, yes.
So we went out there and saw some of the dredge projects and the land that they're building out there. And then we took an airboat out and we did marsh planting with our friends at the Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana.
Well, we're going to go to a clip on that, but we also have a picture of you on a bike. What are you doing on a bike?
Chafing? No. I'm actually, that's part of Tour de Parish.
Okay.
Which is
Explain what that is for the uninitiated.
It's a bike ride, not a bike race, where you can go 15, 30, or 60 miles, and you are actually riding your bike to the end of the world.
Oh,
to Delacroix, which is the end of the world.
Yes.
And I took part in that. My wonderful crew, who we've been working together for 15 years, they were in a car and they were following me while I was riding the bike.
Are you a biker on your own?
No.
Oh, okay. I have to say,
I'm lacking
you
much
look
expertise.
Good, but,
I look good. That's all I'm shooting for. Just looking good.
Well, we do have, fortunately, a clip. And why don't you set up this clip and you referenced something about
Yes,
the coast.
we went out to do marsh grass planting with CRCL, which is the Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana. I'd never been in the marsh. I'd been in a couple of shows that went out on the coast, but this is in the marsh, waving at alligators, and it was an experience of a lifetime.
Well, let's take a look.
So basically, it's going to be really squishy over there, maximum muck in the goo. You're just kind of like feeling around for the vibe of planting something, you know?
We leave CRCL's restoration headquarters and head into the central wetlands between St. Bernard Parish and New Orleans, where a once thriving freshwater swamp is slowly being brought back to life. It's time to get squishy.
The water's great!
Yeah. The water's great, come on in.
Do it a stanky leg, come on now. This would not get done without volunteers. Any of the work that we do cannot happen without our community and without community buy-in, community involvement. And that's really what I found to be the most surprising about this job for me, is how much it really does matter. But it's called the Cajun snowshoe. You go around on your knees, and so the weight is distributed all over your leg. If you put your foot down, it's gone. You can't get your foot back.
Planting isn't the problem. The multiple ways to move in the marsh are.
Cajun crawl. The Cajun, yeah, I want Cajun crawlers. Cajun crawl. Alligator crawl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
all
then
right.
you get to go really fast, like speed racer.
I'm not thinking speed is something I'm going to be doing here.
That's a shot. All right. Eco Trip debuts Monday, August 24th at 9 p.m. on WYES. It streams on WYES.org and PBS apps. Also, it's on the WYES YouTube channel and on Passport. That's the WYES streaming channel that you can watch on demand. Contact info. So if somebody's got a great story concerning the coastline and the culture, we have a contact page for you too. You can go ahead.
That's my email, or you can go to Facebook. The good thing about this, the interesting thing is, it is 13 episodes monthly, and we're still in the process of filming.
Yeah.
So, which means that everything's not shot and edited and ready for air. We're doing the stories through an entire year. So we are looking for stories tell the stories of the people on the coast, be it culinary. I'm looking at you for that restaurant you just described. It sounded very, very culture-like. And maybe you want to take me, Poppy? Comfortable bar seats?
Oh, Tom.
Tom, what were some things, I mean, you know the area very well. You've been covering over the years, but were there any like real surprises that you started doing this?
You know what? It's the people that are really surprising. The young lady you saw in that clip, Chani, she works the Native Plants program at CRCL. And just the emotions involved in what she's doing and what their team is doing. She pointed out to me where she said, you know, I've heard the stats. I know about the football field that we lose every 100 minutes. I know about the losing of, you know, the size of state of Delaware in our coastal. But those don't, she's like, I didn't play football and I've never been to Delaware, so it doesn't really mean anything to me. But her saying being in here with people in the marsh doing this makes it all real. And to me, that's a message that I'm seeing more and more, that being out there makes it real. The coastal land, you know, coastal wetlands loss, the area that we're losing, the land loss, we've been talking about it for a long time. But it's when you're out there and how that becomes real, we really see that through these stories. And hopefully our viewers will be able to see it through my bad dancing and struggling getting through the marsh. Well,
just also a reminder, you can go to WYES.org, because during the course of the month there will be, as we say, encore showings. And so they'll have a list there too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. Angelo Brocato III, who recently passed, was of course long a part of the city's culinary scene, but we at WYES also appreciated him sharing his many New Orleans memories. He is in many of our documentaries, and here's an excerpt from the French Quarter that was.
The majority of New Orleans' Sicilian community is Catholic. The hub of the community's social activity was St. Mary's Italian Church in the French Quarter.
You go to St. Mary, you're going to the gym, either play ball or just play games with different people, or the box, or they would have bingos there. It was a community center, which all the Italian people in the neighborhood that had businesses they donated to have the thing erected. It was really a good place for the kids to go to. I went to Cathedral. There was a rivalry between Cathedral and St. Mary's, but I was right in between them at the ice cream parlor all the time, so I knew people from both places. But it was all, like I said, there was always rivals. It was between us, the project, Zobville Project, and St. Mary's and McDonald 15. There was always some kind of rivalry. We'd play ball, CYO, and different things. It always, oh, we better than y'all. No, we better than y'all.
Angelo Brocato was an altar boy at St. Louis Cathedral.
There was one priest there, he used to know to leave a little extra wine in the cruet, so that when we brought it back behind the altar, we can snort it. Everywhere you went, and there was Italians just everywhere, and when you passing by a house, you would smell, it would smell the cooking of the garlic. In fact, when we played ball on a Sunday, everybody had a white T-shirt on playing ball, had gravy stains on their shirt. Everybody was Italian.
It was like Little Italy.
Oh, thank you so much to Dominic Massa and George Matulik for helping us pull that together. Poppy, what can we say? What a sweet man.
Well, he was, and everybody knew him, of course, from Jazz Fest, if not from the shop on Carrollton. And I was in there the other day, and I can tell you, he is much missed. But Arthur and Jolie are carrying on, along with his grandson. It's wonderful that he's there working these days too.
That's really, really, really good.
What a New Orleans tradition.
Just a sweet, sweet guy. And now, though, 2 picks for me. The National World War II Museum, actually 3 picks, is offering Louisiana residents ticket discounts through Labor Day. Check out, this is a good deal. Check out their website at nationalworldwar2museum.org. On Sunday at 4 p.m., St. Paul's Episcopal Church is celebrating its 190th Festival Eucharist in Celebration. That's right there on Canal Boulevard. But it used to be right near Margaret Hargery Square. And look at the Crescent City connection. Oh my gosh, they had to move. Interestingly, this huge, extant, I guess they use that word, piece of wonderful stained glass that you see in the current church, that went back to that original church, which was really something. Anyway, just a reminder that our look back at 18 people and places from the city's more recent past will be shown Saturday at 5 p.m., Sunday at 10 a.m., and Monday evening at 9:30, and that's on WYES and WYES.org. Also, PBS Apps, our YouTube channel. We're trying to be so high tech, And then WYES says you have to do that. Passport service. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen it, it's 18 vignettes of people and places. It's quite the mix. The St. Charles Hotel, the Southern Railway Terminal, Lafcadio O'Hearn, Mahalia Jackson, Mark Twain. We're all over the place and having lots of fun reminiscing about the more recent past. And then finally, before we go, though, I want to do a quickie roundtable here. Poppy, what are you looking forward to in terms of some restaurants coming up? Any sort of restaurant news?
Oh, my goodness. Neil Bodenheimer and Kirk Estopinal are opening up a new restaurant in the Warbler. It's a hotel. That's and a bar. One of the Cure & Co. What's better than their stuff?
Tom, some future topics that you're working on right now. I know you're working on many episodes.
Well, actually, mark your calendar. September 26th. It's Saturday. We will be having a viewing party of the show, Eco Trip, the first 2 episodes, plus a coastal expo. So many of the nonprofits, the people out there on the front lines of coastal wetland loss, they will be here at YES for an afternoon on Saturday the 26th.
Very good. Mario, what time is your book signing again?
6 p.m.
All right, Garden District Books.
Absolutely.
Thank you all so very much, and thank you for watching.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From jazz to jambalaya, theater to galleries.
Steppin Out brings you the best of our local arts and culture scene each week.
Let's step up and step out. Together, keeping WYES strong.
Support for this program comes from the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, committed to funding educational causes.
This program is supported in part by a community arts grant made possible by the City of New Orleans as administered by Arts New Orleans.
Criollo Restaurant offers a culinary adventure prepared by a tiny animated French chef. A 5-course dinner experience comes to life at each place setting using projection mapping. Located in the historic Hotel Monteleone. Learn more at criollonola.com.
Independent, locally owned New Orleans bookstore, Octavia Books, offers author events, book signings, and hand-picked titles for all ages. OctaviaBooks.com.